Hello guys, this will be the third video by now, and I'll probably be making a few more while my friend is here, because otherwise I'll be kind of resistant to actually making these. And hopefully it's gonna change over time. We're just gonna make this all the more interesting. So I had this thought recently, or I guess not really recently, but a while ago, and it came back, and I just wanted to share that. I'm thinking, these videos are kind of us, just in the beginning. Although, to be fair, things were a lot worse quite a while ago, and even though we're not really making a lot, at the very least me and my friend, I would say we're in a good position overall, and that's kind of what this is about. So it's easy to be unhappy all the time, even though you don't have a lot. And if you're watching this, you might be thinking about, like, how do you get to 100k a month, or a year, sorry, or higher, or how to get out of your shit situation. And what I'm about to say might not mean the same to everybody, but to me, like, when I'm thinking about really the situation that I'm in, right, to me, really, what we're doing right now, I'm pretty happy with. Like, as long as there's only a few things that I really want to change, and other than that, I'm pretty happy. And I want to talk about contentment, I guess. And I think being content means different for different people, and I'd like go into that a bit as well. When I think about those three things that I want to change, for me that's one, improve my mother's health, or help her, and some things I may not be able to change there. Two would be get my second friend who's in UK here, or not here, rather be with him, so all three of us can be together again, and that'd be really nice. And the third would be meet a girl that I like, and see if I can date her or not, or just in short, having a woman that I love next to me. That's all I really want right now, to be honest. Like, we're not making a lot, but when I think about, and partially it's because we're lucky. Like, we're not, like, right now, last month I made $550, which is funny because at some point it was only 3,000. So it's really, the journey is literally up and down, and I'll share more details on that, and eventually as well, like the whole story of, like, up to now, catching up. It would be like a preface, I guess, to what's gonna happen now with these these videos. And that 550 was enough to live pretty well. My friend likes to say survival, but to be honest, we're not really surviving. We're like really thriving. I mean, not thriving, but we're living pretty fucking well for that money here. And we're living in North Cyprus right now, which is a pretty poor place, pretty poor country. It's not even a country. You can look into that yourself. And the currency here is Turkish lira, so at the moment it's pretty, $550 is quite a lot, which is how much actually? Let me see. It is, I have to find it here. USD to TL. That is 10,500 lira, which is almost minimum wage here. New minimum wage, I guess. And honestly, it's quite a lot. I mean, we're living in dorms, so everything's kind of cheaper here, with food and everything. But we're delivering food, and we're like smoking cigars sometimes, and I don't really condone smoking cigars, by the way. If you're watching this, don't, to be honest, until way later, if at all. I have my own reasons to do it. Maybe I'll talk about it eventually, not now. And we have roof over our heads, we have water, electricity, we have cleaners fucking coming in as part of the to price. We they change the sheets, they clean the floors and everything. And like, what more do you really want? Like, to be honest, I get to work with my friends, which is already really enjoyable. And even if we're not really growing, like the act of like doing things, like the growth aspect is not really what I'm like. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not after the monetary or growth itself, which I still want the money, obviously, but it's not the growth that I'm after. It's the act of doing. Like, it's the building something up, and then it results in growth, and that's kind of what shows you that you're building something, right? Like, if you're building a building, the height dictates, or not even a height. Sometimes it's just building itself, right? It's fun for me, or like doing the things that we're doing. It's fun for me, and I get to do that with my best friends. And most people my age are stuck in university or, um, you know, working some shitty job. So that fact that I get to do that is really cool. And if those three things were done, there's not much more I really want, honestly. Right? Like, I could be earning a decent amount of money, and I don't need to be a millionaire. And this is where some people would want to, and that's what I call contentment. I'm content with that. And some people would say, well, if you're content, then you're not going to grow, but that's not the case. First of all, contentment to me means, at least, is you have everything that you need to be happy. But it does not mean that, it's like, it doesn't mean that's it, you're gonna stop growing or changing. It just means that you have enough to be happy, and the lower that is, the better, right? Why place a requirement of being happy when you're rich? Like, you may not even get there. Like, there's a reason why it's only 99% of businesses fail, whatever the metric is, right? There's a reason for that. You're not always gonna be the top of the top. Maybe like a middle ground small business, and that's fine as well. Maybe you end up working for somebody, and that's fine as well. But if your requirement is low for being happy, you'll be happy all the way, right? But people really want to, like, people really want to control everything for some reason, right? They want to be like, oh, but if this happens, I want to be able to have the network or the money or whatever to fix that. And that's fine, you can work towards that, right? But there's things in this universe you just cannot control, right? Like, you could have an earthquake and you die, and like, and you can try to prevent that. You can't try to prevent everything, but there's some things you just cannot change, right? And that's just life. And you can be upset, and that's fine. It's part of life too. Being upset, being sad, it's fine. But if you just accept that that's just how it is, life is permeable, and if you really think about it, you only get to experience any single point in your life once. So you get to experience being a child once. You get to experience being in school once. Even if you go to school many times, it's not going to be the same. You get to experience being 20s in university once. You get to experience being hired once when you begin, on your first year. You get to experience, I don't know, getting your first salary once. All those things, that's the permeability of life. You go from one thing to another, and it's just a flow. And it's different for different people, but we end up in the same place. And people get caught up in these points, and they want to change it and control it. And I mean, to me, it doesn't really matter. Right? There's things that really, like, you do want to have, like roof over your head and everything. And lots of people don't have that. And there's also people who don't have any of this, and they're still happy. There's homeless people who are happy, right? And they'll be even more happy when you give them these simple things. And I think it's kind of important to live as a homeless person, you could say, but have everything else. And that would make you appreciate everything a lot more, understanding that it can disappear at any moment. I mean, you could lose anything at any moment. This building could catch on fire and not have to run, and my PC will be gone and everything, and I have to start from zero, right? And it'll be frustrating. It'll be fucking shit. I'll be angry, honestly, right? Like, I need to help my mother, for example, and other things. But that's just kind of life. And the sooner you accept that, and as soon as you'll be more okay with that, the easier it is going to be to live. So, contentment to me does not really mean that you have to be, you don't have to grow or to move forward. But I'm bringing this up, I guess, in this part of the video because if you're like me, if you're anything like me, and I guess you're in a maybe shitty position right now, maybe, I don't know, you're depressed, maybe you're, I don't know, and you really want to change your life. There's different kind of people. The people who are in a really bad position and they want to change that, and there's people who are in a decent position and they still want to change that, right? They're just not content with they're not I don't want to say content, because you can still change things and be content, but you're just really unhappy wherever you are, or maybe you're depressed, maybe you're going for a breakup, maybe your parents died, or whatever. And I'm telling these people because the truth is you can be happy even in those moments. It's all a matter of mindset, the way you view things. And you might be listening to this and you might be feeling really like annoyed, agitated, or angry that I'm telling you this, because like, man, you don't understand, I'm depressed, like, you can't just change it, I feel like shit, and whatever. You might not wanna, you might understand that you can do this, but there's a big barrier, and that's yourself, essentially. And this is the case even for me sometimes when something you did was wrong, for example, but admitting that takes, letting the ego out of the way. And ego, even in depression case, actually, maybe that's not ego, but something like that, it impacts you, and it doesn't let you live life like you can. But everything is essentially under your control. The way you think, the way you perceive things are essentially under your control. Just like a homeless man, to him, if you give a shelter, roof over his head, he'll be really, really happy. Or if you give him a warm meal, he'll be really, really happy. And there's people who you give that to and they will hate you for whatever fucking reason. So it's the same thing that they get, but the perception is different. I hope that gives you an example of why something is all dependent on you. There's people who are happy with the same things that you have, and that starts with, I understand that when you're in that state, it's really, really hard to view anything as positive. I understand that because I've been there too. So try to grasp onto anything. It's a battle with your mind, and you have to really grasp onto anything positive that you see and accept that and try to appreciate it. Even the small things, even things like breathing, right? Even I'm drinking this coffee. It's a very nice coffee. I like the taste of it. I like the fact that I get to drink it or whatever. Even I have to do more with that. All right. So if you're in a position, start from that. And I guess I want to dedicate a part of this series, the beginning of this, to people who are in that similar position. I want to catch as many people as I can. And honestly, the purpose of these series is in general to, I guess, get people along my journey. When you're watching this, I hope that every piece of information I share here, or action, and I would like to share some actionable things like I did right now, is that they'll help you. And I want to grasp as many people as I can, even those people who are depressed and really sad. And I think people forget about those people often. And I don't know if Andrew Tate is relevant right now, but so people hate and love Andrew Tate, and if anything, the reason why he gets so much attention is, I think, because he speaks to the people who I'm trying to speak to as well, like to those who are giving up, people who don't have energy to fight, people who want to end their life soon. And these are men and women I guess I'm mostly speaking to men, but if you're a woman and you get value from this, great. I just cannot speak for all of them as much, and that's what I'm trying to grasp as well. Because those people I think are often forgotten, and a lot of advice just does not really work for them, because you can't tell them to just go gym sometimes. Like Andrew Tate is the way he says it, in the reason why it works is because he puts anger in it, passion, right? That like he tells you fucking go to the gym, right? And it kicks you out of that depression state. For some people maybe, right? It slaps you and you have to go to the gym. Like you feel compelled to, almost. I hope so. And if that works for you, that is awesome. Perfect. And the way I would like to approach this is a little bit different. And as David Goggins said, there's a voice, there's a David Goggins voice for people, and there's Andrew Tate for people, and there's maybe some of me for people. I don't even care if it just helps one person, honestly. For me, like the fact that one person gets help him that's great. This is getting a bit long, unfortunately. Didn't want to make this long, but I guess it's a series, so I hope it starts from that. And one thing I'll leave you with, I guess, is actionable advice. So as I mentioned, at the end of the day, try to just write you can get a journal or you can get a piece of paper, doesn't matter. Just write 3 things, whatever you can, whatever comes to mind, and try to be grateful for it. Try to get just positive things at first. Do this for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, as long as you can. And then try to slowly move into negative things and try to be grateful for negative things. And that's crazy, because I know that sounds crazy, but even for me, when I'm thinking about the shit I've been through, there's positivity in it. I had to work my ass off to be where I'm here today, to be honest. I had to work every day sometimes, a lot of times, and now I'm used to it. And I'm grateful for all those experiences that led me to this, because now I can work every day and it's a norm for me. Working 12 hours a day is a fucking superpower, you have no idea. All the people who are competing with me, I mean, fucking good luck to them, right? Not to mention other advantages I have now that I've built up. And I'm grateful for that, for those challenges and obstacles, even though, of course, I don't like them. But it frees you when you start doing that. So, I hope that was helpful, and I wonder if people actually watch to the end. Honestly, I'm very curious if you're here this long, 18 minutes. Go into the comment section and say that you're the 18-minute gang. I don't know. No, gang sounds also fucking bad. Just say you're 18 minutes and say if you're actually enjoying this, if you're getting any value from this, if there's anything you would like to improve, if it matters that I'm fucking doing vertical like this. I'm in a fucking YouTube space. Here's an extra. You can leave now, by the way. If you're curious about me, keep going. So here's the extra thing. I am in a YouTube space, right? I work with creators. I analyze shit. I think about thumbnails and titles and video editing and all that fucking crap. And so it's kind of ironic that I'm recording on a fucking phone vertically like this. Normally I'll be like, oh yes, let's do like horizontal like this, and let's do other, like all other bullshit. And I don't want to, I want to just get the people raw. I don't see this on YouTube, and I guess I want to, even though I know this is not gonna work that well. But I wanna get to some people through this way. And maybe I'll do horizontal cameras, that'll be better, like lowest amount of effort I can do. But this is not, I'm not going to be like super optimizing. I'm going to be making titles for it or something, maybe some thumbnails, I don't know, but like I'm not going to be really try harding. I want you to feel like I'm one of you, right? I'm just a normal person, right? What's that? See you next time, I guess.